All right, so I think this is recording. We're taking a look at the review, the practice for our Skill 8 test. The first part of it, the first 10 problems, you'll have to do without a calculator, which means that you'll just have to memorize the 30, 60, 90 degree triangle and the 45, 45, 90 degree triangle, and to recognize that 30 degrees is pi over 6, 60 degrees is pi over 3, 45 degrees is pi over 4. So in problem number 1, it asks us to find the cosine of pi over 6. Pi over 6 is 30 degrees, adjacent leg over the hypotenuse. This is square root 3 over 2. And number 2, the tangent of 60. 60 degrees is pi over 3, but up here I've written it as 60. Tangent is the opposite leg over the adjacent leg, and the square root of 3 divided by 2 divided by 1/2 simplifies to just the square root of 3. Tangent of 30 is the opposite leg over the adjacent leg, and 1/2 divided by 1 is just 1/2. And the cotangent of pi over 4 is 45 degrees. Cotangent is the adjacent leg divided by the opposite leg, but in a 45 degree triangle, 90 degree triangle, the legs are congruent. So the numerator and denominator is the same, so this just reduces to 1. For the secant of pi over 6 is 30 degrees. Secant is the reciprocal of cosine, so instead of adjacent over hypotenuse, it's hypotenuse over the adjacent. And so this means taking the reciprocal, flipping that, and then to rationalize 2 over radical 3 is 2 radical 3 over 3. And that's our answer for number 6. The cosecant of pi over 4, pi over 4 is 45 degrees. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. Doesn't matter which of these 45s I take. Did I have one? This should have been a 1 there. I don't know. If I go back. Oh, yeah. This is 1. Sorry about that. And that's 1. And that's 1. So, the reciprocal is the hypotenuse over the leg. If you take the reciprocal of this is 2 over radical 2, which just rationalizes to radical 2. Multiply it by square root 2 over square root 2. The cosine of 60 is the adjacent leg over the hypotenuse, so that's 1/2. It's going to be the same as the sine of 30 because sine and cosine are cofunctions, and 60 and 30 are complementary. The sine of 45 degrees is the opposite leg over the hypotenuse. That's square root 2 over 2. Whether you go opposite here over hypotenuse or opposite there, because it's both 45 degree angles. Pi over 3 is the same thing as 60 degrees. The tangent is the opposite leg over the adjacent leg. If you take the square root of 3 over 2 divided by 1/2, that just simplifies to the square root of 3. And the secant is the reciprocal of cosine. 60 degrees, the cosine is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. This is the hypotenuse over the adjacent. 1 over 1/2 is just 2. So hey, I hope that helps. Memorize, and that should have been a 1 there. Memorize these 2 triangles, and you'll be able to fly through these problems, provided that you also know the SOHCAHTOA, the definitions, that sine is opposite, the opposite leg over the hypotenuse, cosine is the adjacent leg over the hypotenuse, tangent is the opposite leg over the adjacent leg. All right, talk to you later. Bye.